Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Phoebe Nobisi, and in this video we are going to use an agent that generates some documents, some project documents based on template. We will use the skills. Yes, you heard it very right. So we have this agent that is called project documents agent. Its role is just to help project managers generate governance documents from live project data. And it called those skills generate status reports. The status report helps to give the project health, the the status and the summary in a document. And then we have generate kickoff deck, that is a presentation that shows about the kickoff presentation about how to launch that project. And then we have generate project charter, that skills is used to give the project charter or approval document for a project. Yes, I had to redo this part because the first recording that I did, I lost it. So here are the different skills here. As you notice, we don't have the generate status report here, but it's available in the business skills. How do I get here? When you click on make.powerapps.com, you are inside the environment, and then you can scroll down and click business skills is on preview, and then I will sort by the latest ones. Those are the latest skills that I have here. I can see the general status report is here. So why can't you find it here on my window? Because I had to modify it, so now it's not visible here anymore. When I modify it and I leave it here, it still uses the previous version that is local to this window, and I don't want that. To force it to use the newest version, I only leave this one to get used and I delete the one that is right here. We have generate kickoff deck is right here, and we have generate charter that is here too. Just to show you the configuration of those, we have the normal skill MD that have the step, that has the guidelines and example. We have the payload JSON that shows the structure of the data, of the dynamic data, what it should grab from the database. For example, it should grab the name, the status of the project manager, the success criteria for the launch of the project. And then we have this Python script that's supposed to build a PowerPoint. This script, what it does, it just do some styling of the slide, and it's supposed to call this slide mapping, where we have those project names that grab from the example, that grabs from the schema. You see the name, we have it here, project.name, we have all those here. And that's how we can populate this, and now the script is generating the PowerPoint based on that for this specific one. But now we have the first one that we are going to try now. What it does, this skill, it gives the health of the project, the milestone, the task health, to see if there's any risk, like is the risk likely to happen, the probability, is it low, is it high, and what's the impact of that risk from low to critical. And we have all the other parameters, and also asks to execute the generation script as well, and it's local here. Let's test it. So I will do status report for line 3 retooling. What it will do, it will call Dataverse MCP. I had forced it to use Dataverse MCP server to call that tool, because since it's not here on the visual, the new Copilot Studio, it will say it doesn't exist, it's not available. But it says the rules say always call Dataverse MCP server to get the skill. So now it has called it and it says, I have found a skill in Dataverse. So now it has found that skill and is searching the data, is searching the line 3 tooling using the index search of Dataverse. You will find it and then find all the related milestones. Those are different tables. I can show you the solution. You can go to that solution. I believe I would type project. Yes, this is the solution. So we have all the 5 tables. We have project, project member, project milestone, project weeks, and project tasks. Those are the tables that are running in the background. So let's come back. It has found all the data and then it's assembling the snapshot and running the generation script. It says that Python docs is already installed, that library is installed, and you want to save the snapshot JSON, and then the generation of the script. What I wanted to mention here is that despite the fact that we have this script generate document is here, but it's not reading it. It's not reading it for some reason. And that's a real issue that we have right now. So it knows that it exists, but it's generating a new one inside this workspace to be able to use that. So everything has its pros and cons. Yes. So this is the file that it generated. That's the report. Executive summary, milestone health, tax health budget, risk register, the open risk, what is critical, and the next due date, and with the details, the description, the toolmaker is managing multiple concurrent jobs, is giving all the details, and the project team, the lead, the contributors, and the appendix. So now I asked the agent, what is the generation script you use? Did you use the skill resource or did you write a new one? He said, good catch. I should be transparent about this. That's what we call hallucination. Sometimes the agent has everything in place, but it still behaves as it doesn't have. That's why you always need to evaluate your agents and improve the instruction and force it to use what it's supposed to use, because you can have all the right tools but somehow it still find a way to call the wrong tools and do the wrong thing and waste time. And then it tells me, good catch, I should be transparent about this. I did not use the skill resource script directly. Here's what happened. I retrieved this skill from the skill resource. It was loaded into the tool results and I read it. I did not download and run it. It did not download and run it. I wrote a new script that was inspired by the skill resource, but it's my own version with hard-coded path. The correct approach per skill instruction would have been to download the skill file to disk using file download, record ID, run it as this. Will you like me to redo the report? I guess it didn't do it because I have removed that tool. Download file. Let me put it on. It was off. So let me put it off and confirm. Let's come back. I will say yes to it. So now it will use that because it says the right way is to use file download with that table name, that record ID, and run it like this. and do the output report. So it's calling that tool. So I would suppose that it didn't do it before because that tool was off. I removed that tool. Sometimes when you don't remove certain tools, it just call it anytime, anyhow, even when it's not needed. So sometimes I just turn them off if it's not needed. And it's an occasion for me maybe to add another hard rule. Only use the tool file download when you want to generate the file. That's it. Not any other case. So you restrict the scope of it to work when it should work or when you should call that tool. So let's see what happens. So there's pros and cons to every method. If I had that skill here that I cannot modify like this one, it will have run already everything and have that good result that I'm expecting. But the thing is that you always have to modify it. You always have to modify it because as you use it, you want to modify the content to align well with what you are trying to achieve. And when I modify it, I use offset skill. It modifies directly in this content, in that skill, ID. Same for this one. Now the issue is that now if the agent wants to call the files one by one, it will have to download it. So it cannot just read it like that. So that's what it's trying to do now. It's trying to use file download to download it. And it was not able to do it. It says workaround. I wrote the exact script content. So those are the little pros and cons of that. Let's test the other features as well. Let's generate the kickoff. The kickoff, this one should be good. If I generate the kickoff deck is the launch PowerPoint of the project, it should call this one. It has everything. It has a template. The template here is just empty, a markdown file with the placeholders to replace. So it's simple. It has a script. The script here has the theme. It has all the styling all of that. And then it has the schema and it has some examples of how it looks like. And that's the main skill engine. So this time it should call it directly here and produce the results. Oh, it has done the same. It has called the other one. So it didn't call this because at the first example, I asked it to use Dataverse MCP. Now, even on this example, it used that as well. But the good thing is that we will still have the results that we are looking for. What I would do, let me close this and just generate. Hopefully it didn't write in the memory because when you activate the memory and if it writes a session in the memory, it will remember the patterns for the next test. That's not what I want here. This one it reasoned well. It has called the agent skill here directly this one. So that's what it called. So it has everything. It will get the project details like it did for the other one using Dataverse MCP. It found the project data and then it will use this skill to generate the document. Let's wait. Alright, so it got the results. We have everything. This time it generated from what we had already. And this is the results. I will open it for you to see. I'll change it to show. So this is the PowerPoint. It's a simple plain one. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. I didn't write a template. Like I use a markdown file for this. So that's what it has followed. So let's go back and let's test the last functionality. Generate a project charter. For the context, the project charter also use a template as markdown, so it will also be simple as the other one. And this is a script. It will generate a document, a Word document, docx. So that's a script that handles all the styling. Another case that we will test later is to use some real document like Word document that are already well styled, and we ask Python to just call them and it will replace by the real values instead of using an empty file like we did here and like we did also with this one instead of doing that. So I will show you a little bit how it will look like. Let's wait first for this response to get. We have the response. It gives the manager the section status and yeah. And it says to share this charter with the stakeholder. Let's open it and see how it looks like. So this one, give the purpose, the scope, the objective, the project team, the key milestone, the key risk, the assumption, the approvals. Yeah, so that's how it looks like. So now let me show you what I mean about having a real template like this one. So this template, it has everything is well put, is well designed with your branding and everything. So that's the next goal. Maybe in the next video we will have this as a template so Python runs and put the value in a fancy one instead of using a markdown document. And I hope you enjoyed this session. If you want me to make a video about something else, let me know and we will do it together. See you on the next video. Ciao.